Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been...
What I saw, what it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Picture this. Mel Gibson storms in like he's auditioning for Mad Max, Governor Edition. Right behind him, Tyrus looks like he just walked off a WWE stage, ready to throw down. Suddenly, Gavin Newsom finds himself the unwitting star of a roast he never signed up for. These two didn't just call him out, they delivered a farewell card soaked in sarcasm. Politics. Out the window. This was Hollywood chaos colliding with hard reality, and it hit like a cinematic smackdown.
And I asked my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office? How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us. And
Gibson has never been subtle. He doesn't sip tea quietly. He kicks doors open, flips the table, and warns you the tea is poisoned while locking eyes with your soul. And this time, the target isn't swords, or war paint, or a Hollywood set. It's Gavin Newsom, the political figure who looks like he walked straight out of a shampoo commercial.
The tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one. Then
hit that subscribe button if you want the full takedown. Newsom, California's marble sculpted, hair gelled, smirking governor, suddenly finds himself trapped in a storyline even Hollywood wouldn't touch. Built like a refrigerator with opinions, the kind of guy who could crack a folding chair just by sitting, he's facing the perfect storm. Gibson, the chaos grenade, and Tyrus, the iron anvil. Together, they make Newsom look like a background extra in his own political soap opera. The real lesson. Sometimes your fiercest critics aren't politicians. They're Hollywood legends and wrestlers with no tolerance for nonsense.
About anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
well, you can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
Why is Newsom in the hot seat? Because he runs California like a broken amusement park. Rides down, bathrooms locked, parking still overpriced, and chaos on display. Instead of fixing it, he smiles like it's a trophy. Gibson and Tyrus had clearly had enough. They didn't just throw shade, they eclipsed his spotlight completely.
Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass, well, they were also suggesting that LA was under control. They had it covered while, of course, LA was essentially burning. And they've been blaming Donald Trump for all the chaos in LA, while Gavin Newsom has been trying to emerge as the strong leader of the Democrats as he eyes off the presidency in 3 years' time. But actor Mel Gibson has spoken out, blasting the governor. And
Gibson's angle is obvious. Decades in Hollywood have taught him to spot fakes instantly. Newsom struts around as the golden boy of progressive politics while his state resembles a dystopian Netflix set. Gibson probably thinks, I've played villains less cartoonish than this guy. While Gibson slices with precision, Tyrus barrels through like a sarcasm-fueled freight train. And the kicker? This isn't just policy critique. It's a full-on image audit. Newsom's slicked back hair, presidential practice mirror smirks, and golden boy act clash hilariously with tent cities, boarded up shops, and essential items locked behind glass. Gotham without Batman. And Gibson finally calls it out.
He's negotiating with the deaf prostitute.
yeah.
Let's just stick with that.
Yeah.
More likely.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people have been coming out and calling out, Gavin Newsom endlessly, and the biggest one of all is Mel Gibson. We all know that he is a very big, open critic of Gavin Newsom, and he continues to actually do that, and rightfully so, because we already know that there's a lot of issues.
Picture it. Gibson highlights the chaos. Tyrus backs him up with a smirk that says, yeah, we see you. Newsom stands there like a prom king whose crown just got yanked. This isn't just a call-out, it's the roast of the century. Hollywood fire meets wrestling grit. California's leadership suddenly looks like a meme, a pothole-filled state, impossible to navigate, ignored by the guy in charge. Gibson delivers cinematic-sized burns without hesitation. Tyrus plays the hype man, landing verbal body slams. Together, they drag Newsom under a spotlight so bright even Hollywood's red carpets look dull. And the irony. Newsom always wanted the star role.
House in these wildfires. Yeah. And what you just saw there was an effort to recall the governor and Mayor Bass. Does his star power in this matter?
It matters in the sense we're playing it now on national television on a highly rated Fox and Friends first show, and that has gone viral on social media. And meanwhile, the same day that Mel Gibson says what he says there, and he's correct on so many things as far as the management of wildfires, Gavin Newsom's approval on the handling.
Instead, Gibson and Tyrus cast him as the villain in their own roast special. Not Darth Vader, more like a Scooby-Doo bad guy. Remove the mask and you get a slick operator running a scam. Newsom thought he was auditioning for president. He ended up as comic relief. His one talent. Pretending everything is fine while California crumbles. He struts like the lead in a Netflix political drama, but instead of intrigue, it's just hair combing while potholes multiply. Gibson stares at a dystopia and says too much. Tyrus drops a verbal elbow from the top rope. No finesse needed, just truth. The hair gel can't save him. The state's chaos becomes a joke, and Newsom is the punchline.
Look at the blinking. Look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold him back. He's like...
Here's the funny part. Newsom probably thought he was untouchable. Politicians expect critics to be other politicians, maybe a late-night host. Gibson and Tyrus. Whole different league. Gibson detonates with the subtlety of a car chase explosion. Tyrus drives the point home. California isn't a paradise, it's a survival show with no winners. Rolling blackouts, soaring rent, crime rates climbing. Newsom hands them all over like a gift basket. And yes, the hair is perfect. Gibson tears the vanity apart. Tyrus lands the knockout. Great hair doesn't fix bad leadership.
Oh, well, speaking of full of isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? A follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump.
Once Newsom becomes a punchline, all that polish is meaningless. His image, once glossy and untouchable, unravels like a knockoff designer bag under real pressure. Gibson, a Hollywood veteran, spots the cracks immediately. Tyrus piles on with heavyweight sarcasm. Suddenly, Newsom's presidential audition tape looks like a blooper reel. His not standing tall on the national stage, his stumbling as the butt of the joke. The illusion he cherished most. Gone.
How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation was founded upon and promises to...
The humiliation sticks. Gibson and Tyrus didn't just poke fun. They built a blueprint for dismantling the Newsom myth. No policy papers needed. Just sharp tongues, humor, and guts. The emperor isn't just unclothed, he's drenched in overpriced hair gel, flashing a delusional grin. Gibson sees the performance for what it is. Shallow, scripted, and hollow. Tyrus treats the presidential fantasy like a comedy sketch, slamming it to the ground. Together, they turn the campaign into an unkillable punchline.
He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work out.
Paul, are they capable of soul searching? It feels like the party itself has no soul.
Yeah, no, they have no soul. You know, it's a really interesting statement. If you just kind of, you can break it in two. He spends the whole first part of that saying, we lost because this. Essentially what he says is, folks.
For Gibson, the idea of Newsom running the country is absurd. A guy who crashed a golf cart now in the shuttle cockpit. Funny for 5 seconds. Terrifying after that. Newsom's track record? Homelessness skyrocketing, policy flops, flashy speeches with no impact. He doubles down on Polish instead of solutions. I look perfect, therefore I'm right. Gibson tears through it with Hollywood intensity. Tyrus calls it what it is, a performance so weak it would get booed off America's Got Talent. Imagine a debate, veterans of action and logic on one side, Newsom practicing his smirk in the mirror on the other. There's no winning here. The roast traps him in every scenario.